And now for our dinosaur mask, we've got two 160s. I've got a white, and I've chosen a lime green on this, each with about a 3 or 4 inch tail uninflated. And then I've got three 260s, and I've chosen fashion blue for these, and they've all got about a 3 or 4 inch tail uninflated on them. So we're going to start with one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by making about a 2.5 to 3 inch bubble. And we're going to make a small little round bubble, make that into a pinch twist. And we're going to make, this is going to be the bottom jaw, we're going to make about a 5 inch bubble, another small round bubble, make that into a pinch twist as well. And we're going to make about a 2 inch bubble, another little round bubble, and then again a pinch twist. This guy's got a lot of pinch twists, by the way. And now we need one more bubble the same size as this coming back, another round bubble, and of course another pinch twist. This is going to be the basis of his bottom jaw here. Now we need another bubble the same size as this one here coming back up, just like that. And we need another little round bubble, another pinch twist. Now this next bubble here that we're going to make, if you're making this for somebody, you want this to be a little wider than the width of their forehead. So that each, you're going to have a pinch twist on one side, and we're going to put a pinch twist over here. The two pinch twists need to extend just out about to their temples maybe. So I'm going to pretend like the guy's got a head with about that wide. Make another little small bubble. I've got a pinch twist. And then whatever's left over, we're just going to pop off. So we can tie that. And then we're going to take the end of the nozzle where we first started and twist it into that little pinch twist there. We've just completed the basics of his bottom jaw. Now we're going to take our next 260. We're going to grab the nozzle and we're going to twist it into either one of these two pinch twists. It doesn't really matter which one. Now we're going to make this a top jaw, and it'll be the same process, except personal preference, I like to make the top jaw just slightly longer than the bottom jaw. I don't know why, it's just the way I like to do it. So I'm going to make this bubble here a little longer than the side bubbles in his bottom jaw. And we're going to make a little small round bubble. Make it a pinch twist. Now I need a bubble about the same size as that cross piece on his bottom jaw. Another small bubble, again a pinch twist. And then another bubble the same size as where we started on the top jaw over here. And you can see how that's going to complete his top jaw, and this is going to twist in at the opposite pinch twist on the top of his bottom jaw there. So you've got something looking roughly like that there. Now we're going to make where his eyes are going to go. And what we want to do with this, we're going to take this remaining bubble that we have here, and I'm going to come up, and I want this to go, you can see, a little longer than half of this because I want it to stick up just a little bit. And if I make it slightly longer, when I connect the other side, it'll push it up just a hair. So a little past the halfway point. Then again, make another small bubble. Pinch twist. We need another bubble the same size as that one. And then we're going to come across to the other side of his head here. Now we're going to go back across the top. And what we want to do is we're going to go from here to this one and then to this one. And these bubbles we want to be slightly longer than those because we want it to bow up a little bit. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I bring it up. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit, because in a minute that white 160 is going to sort of nestle in there and give him his eyes. And this one's about the right length. So if I just kind of fold this, divide this into two bubbles so that one goes there. And I'm going to bring the nipple end across to the other pinch twist on the opposite side of it. Secure that up in there. That's the basic head of our dinosaur mask. Now we're going to take our other 260, our final 260, and what we want to do with it, we're going to measure his head first. Well, we're going to attach this first and then measure his head. We're going to take the nozzle, and again, it doesn't matter which side, but twist this into one of the pinch twists that's where the eyes meet up with the jaws. So twist that in And then you're going to measure around the person's head. So you'll put this, so this is across their forehead, and this wraps around the back of their head here. And then twist across into the other pinch twist there. I'm going to assume that this person's head is about that large. Now what we want to do, we're going to pop the rest of this off, but again, we want to keep this tail inflated because we're going to use it as well. So pop that off, secure that knot there, then come back. There it is. Find the end of your balloon. If you haven't tied it, make sure you secured it so it doesn't come undone. Now this piece is going to come across the top of our dinosaur's head and connect to the back here. So I'm going to take this back loop that goes around his head and divide it into 2 equal bubbles. Then we're going to take this extra piece we had, soften it a little bit by squeezing it. I'm going to take the nozzle and twist it into this pinch twist at the very top in the middle of his eyes. I'm going to bring that pinch twist around in the back because we're going to be attaching some stuff to that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here and I'm going to twist about 1/4 of it and another 1/4, or actually probably a little close, between 1/4 and 1/3, because I don't quite have the same left on the end here. But I've twisted off 3 bubbles and left me a little bit of a tail in the back here. I'm going to take that back part, that last twist point, lock it into the back of his hat, just like that. And what I've done is I've given him the top of his head and left me some points to attach my little 1/60. I'm going to come back in with a minute and give him a row of spines across the top of his head here. Before I do that, let's go ahead and complete the front of his face. I'm going to take my white 1/60, and what I want to do is I want to measure a bubble that is about as long as this bottom bubble here, maybe just a hair longer. Then I want to get another bubble the same size. Then I'm going to twist this off, but you want to keep the balance of this balloon inflated because we're going to use it for its teeth in a moment. So. And if you accidentally let go of that extra piece here, you can always just blow up another one. So we're going to take that, divide it back into the 2 bubbles like we started with, and I'm going to come in, and this is going to go right here in the middle where his eyes meet. So you're going to come in from the back. I'm just going to poke one through that hole there and bring the other across the top. Cross him over to lock him in place. I'm going to take each of these little pieces left over and go to one of the pinch twists on the side of his head. So just bring that over. Twist it around the pinch twist there to lock it in place really good. Do the same with this other one. And then I'm going to take his 2 eyes, and they're kind of protruding right now, and push them back up into the gap that we created by making this bubble longer than that one on there. So push his 2 eyes up into there. And we'll bring that back around. There we go. So there's his eyes. Now we're going to give him some teeth. We're going to take our 1/60 that we have left, and I'm going to twist about 1.5 inch to 2 inch bubble. And it doesn't matter if you start with the bottom jaw or the top jaw. If you want, you can only do the top jaw and leave the bottom jaw without teeth. I generally put it on both just because that's the way I like to do it, so I'll show you that. So I'm going to take this little bubble and twist it into one of the pinch twists on the top jaw. Wrap it around to secure it. And now I'm going to make a little string of pearls that's going to go from this pinch twist across this bubble here to this other pinch twist here. 3 should get it. 3 little small pearls there. And then twist into the other pinch twist on the other side of his head there. So I've made this bubble, twisted into that, string of pearls across to this other pinch twist here. Now I need another bubble from this one, the same size as this one here. So, and then if you're going to make the bottom teeth, you want to keep the remainder of this inflated when you pull it off. If you're not going to make the bottom teeth, you can let it go. I'm going to make the bottom teeth. But I just think it makes it look a little better, a little meaner. And as As you know, little boys, anything that can be mean, scary, or have the potential for frightening other people, they like it. So there's his top teeth. Now we're going to take and repeat the same for his bottom teeth. So make another little inch to inch and a half level. Twist into one of those twists on the front. And then we're going to make a string of pearls across there. Twist it into the other pinch twist. And then we need another bubble the same size as this for his other tooth to end it off. And then you can let go of the rest of this after you pop it now. We don't need any more of that white. Secure it in there. And then I'm going to trim these little excess pieces off of his teeth really quick here just to kind of clean it up, make it look a little better. And there's the basis of your Dinosaur Mask. You can stop here if you don't want to add the spines on the back, but I think they just give it a little bit of extra character here. So now we're going to take our green 160 that's been waiting for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to start up here where his eyes, the center of his head. We're going to take the nozzle end of our 160 and just twist it in around that pinch twist there. Attach that right there. Now we're going to make a row of spines going across the top of his head by making a bubble up. And we're going to make this in about a 3.5 to 4 inch bubble. Then we'll make another bubble the same size. And I'm going to twist that around, locking it in place. But the thing, if you don't add some pinch twists there, this is going to have a tendency to kind of flop around a little bit when I add this other one. So I'm going to put 2 small pinch twists in position 1 on either side of these balloons here for my little 160. So make a little small bubble, and then just twist that into a pinch twist. Position 1 on one side, and then come to the other side and repeat that process. Make a little small bubble there. And then make that, reach in there and make that a pinch twist as well. So we've got 2 pinch twists, one on either side here that you can see. And they're going to help stabilize that so it's not flopping around. And then just repeat that process for each of your spines, or little fins, or whatever you want to call these on the back of his head. So make your 2 bubbles, and go back and lock into your next connection point. And then make your 2 little pinch twists. One on either side. There's our second one, and then we're going to make our third spine. Same process. Come back to the back end here. Now this one, we don't necessarily have to make the 2 pinch twists. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off this excess from the 160. I'm going to go ahead and tie that off so it doesn't come undone. And you'll notice that my 260 kind of sticks out the bottom, and what happens is you get where all these meet. You've got a natural locking point with all these others. It's pretty well locked into place. Let's give this guy some eyes. A nice reptilian slit eyes there. Makes him look a little meaner. And there we have our Dinosaur Mask there. You can see from the front his teeth. And there he is.